meteorologist Jarrett Felton will join us to talk about some of the hottest financial questions that are being asked this summer.
Then, bargain buyers, get ready. This morning, we are looking ahead to the 4th annual Goodwill of the Finger Lakes Thrift Crawl. We'll take a closer look at the one-of-a-kind shopping experience and how you can shop till you drop this weekend.
Yeah, one of those things that I know a lot of people look forward to. And then later, heading out of this world for some space news, our NASA ambassador Tony Rice will join us to talk about the ongoing and upcoming meteor showers that you can see if you just look up to the sky.
Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of us are looking up this morning. We'll get to meteorologist Marty Snyder with a check of the forecast. Raining out there, but a bit cooler, so I guess good.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a toss-up there. We've been seeing those well above average temperatures, just finishing up with that heat wave that we had. We had 3 consecutive days in the 90s. The last was yesterday. Today we're going to be in the 80s, so down a little bit, and there's that rain as it makes its way through. Saw some embedded thunderstorms along that line. That segment has died down pretty well across parts of the area, but we're seeing one portion regenerate. Notice off to the east, that one line is kind of lining up generally along Route 350 from Ontario, Walworth down towards Macedon there, the western portion of Wayne County, getting into some of that. And still a couple segments to the west that still have yet to make their way through, but notice all this continues to make its way to the east. What's off to the west is a lot more quiet weather. I think as we head into the afternoon, could pick up a stray shower or thunderstorm, but they should be few and far between during that time frame. Temperatures today rising through the 70s initially to near 80. We'll be in that low to mid 80s for highs around the middle portion of the afternoon. And then I think longer term, temperatures stay a little cooler than where they have been, back to closer to average tomorrow, 84 on Friday, and could make another run at 90 on Saturday before pulling back a little bit into early next week. So a little variation in temperatures, a little cooler for some of these upcoming days, but not chilly. It's just back down to a little closer to average briefly for some of these upcoming days.
A little break from some of that stifling heat that we've had.
Yeah, and like I mentioned, it has been up there. We had that heat wave where we did hit the 90s 3 days straight, and today we're going to fall a little shy of that 90-degree threshold.
Refreshing.
Yes.
Thank you, Marty.
Okay.
All right, we'll go off the top now, start with some things that have piqued our interest today. So I'm going to start off with kind of an eerie story out of Atlanta. It's not kind of. This is an eerie story out of Atlanta. Now, it's really not uncommon for dogs or cats to bring their owners little gifts while they're out exploring. One time, my childhood dog, Sarge, brought us a baby bunny that he was just playing with in the backyard. Unfortunately, that bunny did not survive. But this woman in the South keeps getting these gifts delivered from her dog, and the police have gotten involved, and they did so pretty quickly. Her name's Paulina Meha, and she made a call to deputies earlier this month when her dog dragged possible human remains into her yard.
Oh.
WVTM, the TV station there, reports it was a leg bone carried by the dog and delivered right into the yard. That would terrify anyone, right? Pretty concerning. The woman said that her husband couldn't believe what he was seeing. But according to the sheriff's office, this is not the first time that this dog has done this. Almost a year ago, the same family, the same dog, found a skull in their yard. That autopsy revealed the person had been shot. They hadn't been able to figure out just who it actually was. There was no match in the national database. There's no indication pointing the sheriff's office in the right direction either. And then news outlets learned that months before that, in December, a human tibia was found in that yard too. It was determined that the tibia and the skull came from the same person. The woman, Paulina, says, obviously this is troubling. This is apparently a very quiet community, very tight-knit, and it's unusual to have any kind of crime, especially like this, happen literally right in her backyard. After the most recent discovery was made, members of law enforcement reportedly put a tracking device on their dog to see where he wanders off to. It's different in the South. I know in the North, a lot of the time people keep their dogs in their yards.
Right.
In the South, it's not uncommon for dogs to just kind of wander the neighborhood, go exploring, and then they come back home. Well, they put the tracking device on the dog, and the dog led them to more remains in the woods nearby.
Oh my goodness.
So right now, it is unclear exactly who the victim or victims actually are. The databases are coming up short. And as troubling as this is, Paulina and her husband say they're pretty proud of the dog for bringing them this evidence. Hopefully the loved ones of this victim or victims will get a little bit of closure. Just incredible, though. Unfortunately, we couldn't show the video from this. because of copyright stuff. But absolutely remarkable, right?
Yeah, that is for sure. I'm wondering if the dog is kind of like a retired dog sniffer. I don't know the technical term. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like a tracking canine.
Yes.
Something like that. Yeah.
So, but that's truly amazing, remarkable, as you said. I can't imagine the dog themselves. I'm glad that they're not, sitting with that trauma from seeing something like that.
Yeah.
Or I hope not. But being able to, bring some attention to something that maybe the community did not know about.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think also I have so many questions, and this is no disrespect at all to the station that covered this, but I'm like, I want to know more. I need to know more. How many times has this actually happened?
Yeah.
They said 3 times in the past year, possibly another time before this.
Wow.
It's wild. It
is.
Absolutely is. And, I feel like if something happened like that around here, it would be blowing up.
That is for sure.
But, just how remarkable, right?
It really is. You wouldn't think that, as you said, you wouldn't expect something like that to happen right in your own front yard where the dog is bringing you these things. I'm wondering if there's anything about the location itself, like the woods, if there's, I don't know, some sort of past event or something terrible that happened that may connect all of the different things.
Right.
Because it's interesting that the bones were recovered and like in the same area, brought back to the same place. There's something there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. I don't know. I just thought that was interesting.
It is.
Go ahead.
All right, we'll switch gears and turn to retail right now. As many college students prepare for back to school, Bath & Body Works is making hygiene products more accessible.
Okay.
So the company is opening up kiosks in over 600 college campus stores. So for the college students, college campus stores, it is happening this upcoming school year. This is the first time the company is selling its items at this scale outside its brick and mortar locations. That's what you're taking a look at there. Now they're working with Barnes & Noble College and other sellers to introduce several products. We have a Barnes & Noble bookstore location in Mount Hope on College Town. It's too early to call and check if they will offer the kiosks, but as every good reporter does, I sent them an email to ask. Don't know if I'll get a response. I'll keep you guys posted. So far, none. But fan favorites like mahogany teakwood, which we'll get into this a little bit later, but that was not a favorite for me.
Okay.
Champagne toast and warm vanilla sugar will be available. Now, the scented products range from body and lip care to hand soaps, and yes, of course, they're pocket back sanitizers as well. Pictures posted with a news release show a column with a couple rows in it, and it appears that items will be in limited quantity. Wallflowers will also be offered. The new announcement is still making its rounds on social media. I was searching for comments everywhere, every platform you could think of, but none just yet.
It's early.
Yeah.
Early in the day.
So I'm sure questions will come up as all of that happens. Details on how often restocks will happen, they're still unclear at this point. That's a good question. Now, the goal of the kiosk is to connect with Gen Z customers more, hoping to make their dorm rooms feel more like home, according to the company's chief marketing officer. And anyone who has lived in a dorm, they could always use a little help. So exciting to hear about something like this, that they're expanding into college campuses.
So I was a resident assistant at SUNY Brockport, shout out, and the Bath & Body Works wallflowers were especially popular when some of the residents were trying to hide certain scents.
Oh, goodness.
But it's okay.
Yeah. I wish they would
hide.
hide them when I was in college. You could smell it.
Oh my gosh,
They were bold out there.
They tried to be clever. There's no hiding, obviously, what we're talking about. But that's great.
Yeah.
So you're not a fan of mahogany teakwood?
No.
Okay, so let's dive in.
It's part of the men's body care selection, and there are some good scents in there, but that one is just not for me. And it's also in a candle as well. Full disclosure, I used to work at Bath & Body Works.
Oh, okay, that's right. Okay.
Restocking all of the different things, so I know a lot of the scents in depth, but yeah, it is strong, to say the least. And I like a lighter scent. I gravitate to the vanillas a lot more.
Yeah.
So, not for me.
Bath & Body Works has a scent that only comes out during the fall. It's coffee and whiskey.
Oh.
And it has been the scent that I've used in my house for 5 years now. Every fall, it's like once a week, every time I get paid, I go and I stock up, and it's usually like buy one, get one free, whatever, for like the big candles.
Yes.
And then here's a little hack. So I have a wax melter at my house too. So when your candle gets down to below the wick point, like where you shouldn't burn it anymore for safety reasons, I dig it out with a spoon and I put it in the wax melter, and I like make my own little wax melts.
That's good, actually.
You
really
know,
smart to do that.
Women in STEM. What can I say?
Exactly.
Improvise, adapt, overcome.
There will be candles too, so
Yeah.
college students will have access.
That is okay, but the candle thing,
Which is a little bit of a safety thing as well.
yeah, right, like open flame. But can they have the candle warmers? I can't remember what the rules are, but the wallflowers, great.
Yes.
And you know what? You should always be practicing good hygiene too.
Exactly.
Yeah, highly important, especially.
I know.
I mean, I teach, you know, so I deal with a lot of them, and sometimes they come to class, and I'm like, you gotta go, you gotta
Woo.
go shower,
Yeah.
or whatever. No judgment, but go
Yeah.
shower. All right, it is 8:11. Much more to get to this morning on ARC Rochester. When we come back, Chris Lopez will talk to us. He's learning more about a local teen's startup clothing business.
And hey, don't forget that you can watch us on the go wherever you are by streaming us live on the 13 Wham YouTube channel and, of course, foxrochester.com. We're back after this. In Avon, a 19-year-old is proving that challenges can sometimes lead to something truly inspiring.
Yeah, Andrew Caudill took his experiences and created his own fitness clothing brand. and it's starting to turn heads locally. Chris Lopez wanted to dig into his story and see what makes his brand so special. He's in Avon this morning with more. Chris?
Yeah, guys, I'm here with Andrew Caudill, founder of ARC1. Let us know what that acronym stands for, because it changed, and it used to be what?
It used to be attack, recover, compete, and eat, but now it's a reason changes everything.
Why'd you change it?
It fits the brand messaging on a way deeper level, and the growth I'm looking to hit, it just hits the growth, and it's there.
Okay, and we'll get behind here, and we'll talk about some of these shirts and some of this apparel here. But first question I got to ask you is, where do you see this brand going in the future? So as a kind of an example, a physical example, is this was kind of your first ever design here. Very basic. Not in a bad way. It's black. It has the branding right here. You have since graduated to something like this, where the branding is a lot larger. You have a message in there. Now you've started to delve into the different pastel colors, which I like, both female and male. But where do you want this brand to eventually get to?
Good question. The big goal, obviously, I'm going to say I want to be $1 billion organization. That's definitely the goal. But for right now, just keep growing at a steady pace. Every single year, just getting up there. But for right now, keep expanding the reach, expanding the designs, making them eye-popping, appealing for the audience. You post on social media, and everyone's like, "Whoa, what's that?" Right? You look at something like that, your competition's easily defined, right? Gymshark, Nike, whatever. But you start expanding out your reach and your design tactics and all your ideas that come in your head, and you start to get unique in your niche. So
and very unique in your niche, especially for a young kid like you. You're only 19 years old.
Yes, sir.
And Nike or Adidas, they're going to use something like television to market. You have a different approach, and people like you have different approach. Young entrepreneurs, 19 years old. You are using social media, and particularly social media influencers, to market this branding here.
That's right.
Tell me a little bit about that, where you got the idea, and maybe some people who you use and how you use those influencers to market this brand.
Of course. So basically this all stemmed from just the trend of being rich at a young age on social media. It's definitely a big thing right now. So everyone's using like big influencers on Instagram, or even like average size, like 200,000-300,000 followers, to get their reach out there. And I think the biggest guy with the biggest reach that's helped me, his name is Jimmy Jensen, and this guy, he lives in Minnesota. I'm friends with him now, and he's a great guy. He also loves Jesus a lot, which is amazing, and he's been such a help from the beginning, almost like day one, all the way till now. We did our last giveaway like a month ago, and he was a huge factor to getting in a ton of people to join that giveaway. So he's my best guy, and I also want to take a short amount of time to shout out my team of 13 members. I love my team so much. I couldn't do any of this without them. They are so helpful to me and amazing. I love them all so much.
And you're not a one-man army. Where do you print these shirts out at?
For sure. We print them in Absolute Screen Printing in Rochester. So shout out to Kevin, shout out to John. Those are two fellows I work with. Amazing guys. Love those guys as well, and work so well with them. Since day one, I came in, they probably thought my dad was running the business, but it was actually me. Okay. And now they take me tremendously seriously in everything I do. So it's a good partnership.
And your start, you mentioned your dad. He helped you with this. Yes. When did you come up with that concept to when you asked Dad for help, or did he offer his help?
He's a businessman.
Okay.
So I've always just been in this, but my mom helped me too, not just my dad. My mom, they're very 50-50 too, but my dad on the business side, my mom on like the logistics side and the patient side and all that stuff. So yeah, my dad being a businessman, he's the president of an aerospace company, which is amazing. Okay. So yeah, he just taught me how to make money and get yourself out there and be social and just get it going. So
and what's the farthest you've shipped to?
United Kingdom.
Okay. And where can people grab this clothing here if they just want to ship to Rochester?
arc1.co, arce1.co. And if you're close enough, DM me on Instagram. We'll do a local delivery for free.
Okay. Yes. That's pretty nice. And then we're going to have information on our website on how you can grab one of these shirts, or if you just want to learn Andrew's story, on 13 Wham or Fox Rochester. I'm going to send it back to you guys in studio.
Absolutely remarkable young man. Just so impressive. I know I say it all the time, but the future really is bright.
Yeah, and super creative.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chris. Stick around. When Arc Rochester returns, it's this morning's weather trivia.
Yeah, Mark will be here coming up after this. back. It is 8:22. You know what it's time for? It's time for some weather trivia.
It's always a fun time of the day.
Yeah?
It is.
You
Yeah.
saying it to convince yourself, or are you saying it because you mean it?
Well, it's genuine.
Okay.
It is.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
We talked about dry stretches of weather in western New York. So today's weather trivia is talking about the driest stretch of weather ever recorded in U.S. history. So check this out. There's a place in the United States that went a very long time without rain. But do you know what the U.S. record is for consecutive days without rainfall? Now, obviously, I realize this is probably just a big guess, but is it 767 days, 89 days, 212 days, or 365 days?
It's kind of a all over the board guess.
Yeah. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Can you the longest stretch of dry weather was in the world?
So in the world, I believe it would be probably in the Gobi Desert or
Okay.
somewhere in Chile. If I had to place that, that's where they shoot those Hollywood movies like Mars. What's that flick with Matt Damon there that they shot over there?
What's in the box? That one?
No, that was Brad.
He's
I think
in
that
the
was Brad
desert
Pitt.
at that point. Oh, yeah,
But
you're right.
yeah, that's where they shoot those movies because it looks like the surface of Mars because it never rains there. But we'll have that answer coming up at 9 a.m. right here in Rochester. I think you'll be very interested to see what the answer is. But you know what? We got some rain this morning. Actually, it was the best natural alarm clock you could hope for, right? After having such a dry stretch of weather. Some of us got some rain yesterday. Some of us got some more rain today. SUNY Brockport had 3/4 of an inch of rain. It was 3/10 of an inch of rain in Rochester, 1/3 of an inch in Rush, and 1/4 of an inch in York this morning. But spots to the southeast, you don't see any rain there. South Bristol, you don't see any rain. Clifton Springs, Cohocton, Dansville, not showing any official rainfall. So this was, as mentioned yesterday morning, off to the east of Rochester. And notice how the returns are starting to fade away. They were much brighter in the last hour, kind of fading away, Wyoming County, Livingston County. So the rain, as it moves off to the east, does seem to be weakening a bit. A thunder shower down towards Wellsville, picking up a little cloud-to-ground lightning down that direction. But again, that's going to be moving out of the picture here as we head through time. Still a small chance this afternoon that we get another pop-up shower, clap of thunder. But the cold front that comes through later tonight, that's going to spell some changes for us. We've had 3 straight days in the 90s, 4 straight days almost near 90 degrees. And this cold front's going to give us some big changes overnight tonight and into Thursday, Friday. It's going to knock the humidity down. It's going to knock the temperature down. And it's going to feel comfortable the next couple of days. But you know what? It's drying out again.
Yay.
The next chance of rain is Sunday, and it's not a really great chance there. Just a 30% chance of rain towards the end of the weekend, early next week. It'll start to dry out again, unfortunately. 72 degrees, you can feel the humidity out there. It feels like you just jumped out of the shower. The dew point is 70. The breeze is out of the southwest at 9, and the relative humidity is sitting at 93%. So it's going to be a warm day. Low to mid 80s for the temperature. If the sun pops out late this afternoon, we'll get that temperature into the mid 80s. Later tonight, partly cloudy, 66 degrees. Clouds on the decrease. The west wind 5 to 10 miles per hour, and the extended forecast has sunshine for the end of the week, near 90 by Saturday, and dropping back to the 70s by the middle of next week. So it's going to be a little bit less humid for folks that don't like the humidity.
Did you get quite a bit of rain at your house?
Yeah, it was enough to measure. It was about a ½ inch, I would have to say.
Okay.
Definitely enough to where I probably won't have to water plants this afternoon, which is check one thing off the list, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to do that when you get back, but hey.
There you go.
Yep.
The pumpkin looks exactly the same as it did.
Really?
It's
Hasn't put on any growth?
no.
Not yet?
No.
It's getting full sun.
It's full sun.
Okay, it'll go.
We have one in the garden, right?
We do.
Yeah, I know we've got one in the garden.
It's starting to kind of climb up the wall. Well, maybe we'll take a look at that tomorrow. When,
Okay.
we have our garden
I'm getting
service.
nervous.
excited.
I'm getting a little anxious.
It's still green though.
Still green.
Well,
yeah.
that's okay. Any orange, yellow blossoms on it? Or?
It's like there's a blossom, but it hasn't popped
okay.
yet.
So it hasn't. So it's green. It'll pop. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
You're good. So it's not like.
Is it maybe growing underground? Like
No,
a
it is.
potato type
So
deal?
because it went in so late, it's rooting. So it's putting a lot of the energy that it's getting from the sun into its root development instead of foliage development. But the foliage development will definitely take off here shortly. I'll give you some fertilizer too. All right.
Oh, what a gift.
Yeah. Dump it right on there. That thing will.
It's like friendly fertilizer, right? It's not like
Yeah.
Here, take this fertilizer.
Technically, it's 20-20-20.
What does that
What is
mean?
that?
We can talk about that tomorrow on the go.
Oh.
Too.
I guess
Look
I'll bring it in. I'll bring it in.
All right.
Okay.
We're spending too much time together. You're doing the Abby and Dan thing. We're sounding way too similar. Yes. All right. Ashley, I have lost track of the time. I'm not going to lie.
I think we're good.
Are we good?
Yeah.
All right, great. Okay, much more to get to this morning on Arc Rochester.
We're back on the other side of the break.
We are following breaking news this morning. Rochester police have announced an arrest in a missing persons case after the missing man was found dead.
Yeah, police say a missing persons report was filed on Sunday for 28-year-old Louis Leon. As they learn more, a person of interest was developed and investigators focused on a house in Livingston County. After executing a search warrant, they found the person of interest may have been in Cattaraugus County.
Monday night, they located 48-year-old Ruben Anthony Ortiz in Salamanca and took him into custody. That same night, investigators found the body of Louis Leon in a secluded portion of Route 17 in Cattaraugus County. They determined he suffered blunt force trauma and had been dead for several days. Ortiz is charged in his murder and was arraigned last night.
Now, this is a story we will continue to follow for you and bring you any updates throughout the day on air and online at 13wham.com. Thanks so much for staying with us here on Arc Rochester. It's Wealth Wednesday, and today we're tackling the hottest money questions people are asking this summer.
So from car buying to timeshare troubles and whether or not you really need a financial advisor, we're joined now by wealth advisor Jarrett Felton to talk about these dollar dilemmas. Always good to see you, Jarrett.
Dollar dilemmas. It's great to see you. It's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
A lot of questions.
Yeah.
I'm sure when it comes, we just highlighted all of it. We'll
Sure.
start with car buying, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of parents are looking at their 18-year-olds. Maybe they're getting ready for senior year and they're thinking,
Yeah.
all right, we probably got to get a car here.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, all these questions just came by way of just things that people have asked me over the past 30 to 45 days. So these are fresh off the press. This isn't Wall Street. We're talking Main Street here. All right.
Okay.
So when it comes to the car buying thing, there is a rule of thumb. So The rule is called 20, 4, and 10. Those numbers all signify making sure that, it's a 4-year term if you're going to finance it, right? You put 20% down, and then you want to make sure that your monthly payment is no greater than 10% of your gross monthly income. So I gave it to you kind of in reverse order because most people think about financing a car for 5 years or sometimes 6. So 20, 4, 10. That's just a statistical thing.
That can be kind of hard, especially given the car
Interest rates and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the cost and you're like, wow, that's a lot.
I know. So I led with the numbers on the quantitative side. So let's talk about the qualitative side and getting it done. You got kids that are going back to school, kids turning 16, or maybe your car died unexpectedly. Some people want to pay cash for cars. We get that question a lot as well from current clients. And we just want to make sure that if people are using cash, it's not coming always from an emergency fund, that they would otherwise need depending on where they are in life. So the goal in life is to make sure you have enough money to cover yourself in the event an emergency comes up. But to buy a car, we all know that could be relatively pricey. And if it's for a kid, probably under the age of 18, I wouldn't suggest going out there and buying him the newest Bentley, Porsche, or Maserati. I say start small. If you can pay for it cash, and it's cheap, go for it. But keep in mind, a car is a depreciating asset. If we knew that a stock was going to drop, would you put your money in? Probably not. Especially if you knew you'd get rid of it in 4 years or 5, probably not. So let's try and think about that with cars too. Spend the least that you can on a vehicle for the best so-called value. And if you're going to finance it, remember the rule 20, 4, 10.
I think it's really interesting when you had talked about the down payment, 20%, right? That was the percentage. Is there room for negotiation in that? Because I think oftentimes you want to put down more so that the monthly payment is less. Is that like a general?
That's always a debate, right? And I think it's all going to be situational. I personally, and this is not the professional hat, personally, I don't put anything down if I ever were to buy or lease a car. I just don't, because it's a depreciating asset. I don't care. I'm more principle based. Now, if it turns into I got to get my payment to a certain amount, that may cost you more upfront, but just realize that additional money that you're spending on this down payment doesn't come back to bite you in other areas of your life where emergencies or situations may pop up. Don't overcommit to a car and down payments just to get your payment low and expose yourself and your family and those that depend upon you in other areas of your life. So I'd say be mindful of that. It's all about connecting all the dots. It's not all about car.
Sure.
It's about there's other things too in your life that you have to be mindful and cognizant of.
Let's talk timeshares.
Yeah, I know.
That's written on here too.
I know. I was gonna get teed up. People are gonna get me for this one, but go ahead.
No, so I mean, let's get into it. It sounds so appealing, right?
Yeah. So for me, I got a call last week from a client that was in Vegas, and first question was, "What are you doing there?" Right? They don't like to gamble all that much. They said the food is fantastic and hotels are relatively cheap. So I said, "Okay, so why are you calling?" It was like Sunday at like 2 p.m. And she had said that she was looking at a timeshare and she's in the middle of a presentation and the person said that they have to make a decision in the next like hour or two and that they ended up paying for a hotel room that night to try and woo her. So my thing was, hey, I would first off the gate say no. I am skeptical. I got my antennas up at all times. My natural response is always going to be probably no if it comes to other people's money because I'm more conservative with it. But in this case, I told her, I was like, you got to think of and remember 3 things. Number 1, what are the hidden costs associated with and the maintenance of carrying this timeshare over time? And that's usually in the small print. But if there's pressure tactics to make a decision in a short period of time, and if someone's not used to reading contracts, they're probably going to miss. Number 2, what is the true value of that timeshare and the ability for you to actually use it? Like, are you actually really going to get there? In a world of Airbnb, VRBO, short-term rentals, you're in Vegas and hotels are cheap because they want you to gamble and drink. Like, let's just be honest. With a little bit of intentionality and planning, you can probably find yourself a great vacation without saddling yourself with a timeshare that could cost you between $15,000 and sometimes $30,000 and $40,000 financed over a long period of time, paying interest and fees. And then last but not least, the third item in a timeshare, because I get real passionate about this, is the ability to resell it.
Yeah.
Like if you buy this, sometimes people have come to me with a balance sheet and said, I own a timeshare. Is it an asset? Sure. But how liquid is it? Could you ever get out of it? Side story, kind of a personal one. My mother actually had 3 timeshares growing up. I didn't even really know. We used maybe 2 weekends out of a total of 8 or 9 years before she passed away in 2005 of even using it.
Wow.
So think about the people that industry is like preying on. People that are on vacations with families. They want to recreate these experiences. Just hear me when I say this loud and clear. I think timeshares are sold. They're not bought.
That's a really good point.
I was going to ask because there's always a knee-jerk reaction when it comes to timeshares. You say that word and
Everyone's
there's always, but are there good timeshare deals that are out there?
Listen, like anything, sure. There's good stocks, there's bad stocks. There's good people in this world, and there are terrible people in this world. Same applies to timeshares, but you gotta read between the lines, get into the details of these things. But the only thing, I told her all this stuff in a matter of 2 minutes. So she asked me, I said, now's your time to listen. Since you asked, let me speak, say nothing. She's like, okay. Told her all those 3 things. Hidden fees, maintenance, resale costs, and are you gonna use it? And she's just like, okay, maybe I shouldn't do this. And I go, last but not least, if you hear nothing I said, just remember this. If you can sleep on it and still make the decision tomorrow after you've checked all your finances, because you didn't think about that when you went in there, and you have a peace of mind about it, live your life. I'm not going to tell you that, but people hire me and my firm to give them sound financial advice from a fiduciary perspective. My goal is to protect your money and the money that people in your household depend on.
Jarrett, we're out of time, but real quick, I know
Sure.
you wanted to talk about
that's okay.
if it's a good idea to hire a financial
I know, we can
advisor.
wait. No, we can wait.
You want to wait on that?
Yeah, let's wait, because that could be a topic in and of itself. And the other one is, what happens when you win a lot of money or come into money fast? Lottery, sell a business, you inherit stuff. We could talk about all that stuff.
What a tease.
Oh!
Don't go far. When we come back, we are once again checking in with Chris Lopez, who's learning all about a local teen's inspiring story and the purpose behind his small business.
You don't want to miss it, so check us out wherever you are. We're streaming live on the 13 WHAM YouTube channel and boxrochester.com. We're back after this.
Welcome back. A 19-year-old in Avon took an unexpected end to his wrestling career and turned it into something creative, a fitness clothing line.
Yeah, the brand called ARC1 aims to inspire others and is now being sold across the country, carrying a unique message straight from its founder. Chris Lopez is in Avon this morning to find out what that message is. Hey, Chris.
Yeah, guys, we've been here all morning, really at the headquarters of Andrew Caudill, ARC1. Let us know what that acronym stands for.
A reason changes everything.
Okay, a
Yes,
reason
sir.
changes everything. We were talking about your story. You had a relatively rough wrestling career filled with concussions, and you turned that and those injuries into a business opportunity, really to inspire others.
Yes.
That if you were to describe your clothing brand, and you looking rather than to just sell someone a T-shirt, what's your overall objective with this message? Because you literally put a message with each package.
Yes. So you can buy a T-shirt anywhere for so much cheaper, right? This is not about the product. It is the quality, of course. It's the softness. Everything's great about that. It's the design. It's the movement. It's the motion. It's the resiliency, the ambition of like my team, my crowd, my area. Like all of this just push motion. And you can feel that motion when you go to the gym and you're wearing your merch and you have 4 other people in the gym wearing the same clothing. It's like, oh my gosh, like this is movement. This is good.
Looking to uplift others by almost showing the same message literally.
Yes.
And okay, you take a lot of pride in the quality of everything. You were wearing brandless stuff for a year.
Yes.
And people thought you were crazy, just wearing blank white T-shirts.
Yes.
Why were you doing that, and how did that fall into your business plan?
Yes. So everyone thinks you're crazy until it works. So I knew it was going to work. I was so confident. But basically, I took a ton of different local brands and brands in California and every single brand I could ever think of and imagine. I got every single blank T-shirt or hoodie or crew neck. I was washing them. I was testing them. I was going through it. I was like even ripping them and make sure it wasn't ripping. I would like string it on something and then like walk away to see if it would get ripped. If like it's too thin. I put everything I did into like those quality products. I threw so much stuff away, but I landed on legendary golden products, so I'm happy about that.
And
now.
that's what people are going to be wearing or are wearing when they're wearing this here. Now, this facility here, if you want to call it, this is where everything happens. You have it, Andrew Caudill, CEO over here. But this is where you take all of your orders. This is where you package everything. This is where you send everything out of. Take me through that process. I mean, because from the quality of the clothing to what you're packaging in is great.
Thank you. So we start off, we get the order on Shopify or online or in person. I'll come through here, I'll grab it from one of our bins or whatever, and I'll fold it up and I'll label it with that tag. And then from there, that should be the quality. It just is getting started. I have 2 lights that are not currently set up right now that I have shining on the product so I can see in lint or FOD or whatever the case is. I have lint rollers all over the place. I lint roll all my products like extreme. Make sure there's no stains. If there's stains, we basically scrap the product. It's over. Like we ship great stuff. And then for here, this is the initial package it goes into right here. This is just for like the first initial one, just in case it's raining and it leaks to the first one. You know, God forbid that would ever happen. We got 2 packages of protection. So that's the first one, and it's a zip over, so it doesn't break. And then you got this is the outside one, and inside all these you got the stickers and then the product. And so, like I said, 2 packages, so it's like double wrapped, right? So it's
I like that.
Yes.
That's a lot of pride in just your packaging, because you could just fold this up, put a piece of paper on it, and send it out. You, my friend, have some things coming up though. Let's get into that. Some events to promote the brand.
Yes, sir. So I'm going to take us over here. We are doing a huge giveaway. This is going to be a huge giveaway. I'm not sure how many we're giving away of these right now, but as of right now, only 1 each. So this is the, I believe it's like a maroon or like a desert rose of our new design, Defy the Odds. We're doing a giveaway very soon. I believe in like 2 or 3 weeks. I haven't officially announced it yet, so we're still working on that. And the second event is we've done 1 pop-up at Planet Fitness, which went incredible. We got like 30-something orders, so very thankful for that. And we're going to be giving away a ton of T-shirts. These white ones right here.
Yeah, show this off.
Yeah, for sure. We used to sell these initially about like 2 years ago when we first started. This was one of our first designs too, very simple. So we're going to be giving away a ton of these to bring like a flashback out, and we're going to do like a spin the wheel event, so it's more entertaining and like, you know, you can like work with it too. So that's what we're going to do.
And then you're going to be promoting that on your social media page?
Absolutely. My Instagram, yes. My Instagram, Snapchat, LinkedIn, probably everything.
And what's your Instagram handle?
It's Arc1 Fitness Co.
Okay.
Yes.
And then if you missed that, we're going to have more information about Arc1, how you can find it, some of the different pop-up events on our website on 13wham.com and Fox Rochester. I'm sending it back to you in studio. Thank you for letting us in your headquarters.
Thank you so much.
Really
Very
great
stylish.
stuff. Yeah, I love it. All right, when we come back, we're looking ahead to a weekend and a special way you can pop some tags while supporting a great cause.
See what you did there. We'll tell you more coming up when Arc Rochester returns. $1.49. With prices on almost everything seemingly skyrocketing these days, it can seem harder and harder to upgrade your wardrobe without breaking the bank.
Yeah, but this weekend, the Goodwill of the Finger Lakes has you covered. It is hosting its 4th annual thrift crawl. For more, we're joined now by President and CEO of the Goodwill of the Finger Lakes, Jen Lake. Thanks so much for being here.
Oh, I'm so excited to be here. Happy Thrift Shop weekend.
You too. You must be getting pumped. Give us the overview. What can people expect?
So our 4th annual thrift call, we have a little bit of an upgrade in that this year we've got a coach bus, so people are going to be riding in style. And we are previewing at our brand new Grease Ridge location that we've had rave reviews. It's huge, big, and you actually get to shop an hour before the store opens. So if you are on this ticketed experience, more info at goodwillfingerlakes.org. We've got about 20 tickets left, which is really exciting. So we want you to join us because you'll start at Grease, you'll go to Webster, Brockport, and then we have our thriftfluencers. So these are stylists who live their lives in a thrift world. They also do home goods, but they'll be at each location to style you. We've got food along the way, breakfast, lunch. We take care of the transportation, discounts, games. It's an amazing day, all about thrift for a good cause.
That's awesome. And we were kind of talking about it a little bit before, but do you notice that demand for these events, or even the thrift store in general, has sort of gone up these days?
Yeah, so being a thrifter is cool and hip and trendy. I love it. You know, growing up, I was one of those people who was worried about like trying to put a trendy label into something that was thrifted. And now we are the first stop. You know, you don't have to spend a lot to look good. You know, my dress, brand new with the tags from Goodwill, you know, was probably not even a quarter of what it would have cost. And so everyone wants to not only save money, but to help the planet. And our sustainability initiatives do that. Plus, you're helping our 211 Lifeline, our 988 suicide hotline. So, you know, get that extra pair of shoes because you're funding and literally saving a life in our community.
You're giving us permission to shop, which I love and I appreciate. Being fully transparent here, I actually have 3 bags of clothes in my car right now that I need to donate. So I might just pop those in your trunk, just so you know.
Happy to take them from you. Thank you.
I got you. So looking at back to school, right? A lot of parents probably are a little bit stressed. They think about school supplies. They think about new sneakers for phys ed class. Those are things that they can get at Goodwill, yes?
Absolutely. So we are going to be spending a little bit of time with you guys a little bit later in the week. So I don't want to spoil too much. But yeah, we have all of that stuff. So as people are getting out the backpacks from last year or kind of looking at the school clothes, they're like, oh, this doesn't fit. So we're getting a lot of donations right now, and that'll continue, you know, pretty much into like early October, just because people will clean out and they'll sit around. So whatever you need, you can also find at Goodwill. And again, you're supporting your community while you're doing it.
And I think what's really cool is there's a lot of, I guess, upcycling would be the right term for it, especially with college students going back. Maybe they're trying to furnish an apartment. Are you seeing, especially at like the Brockport location, for example, there's a lot more people looking for that?
So all of our locations, you find people doing that. And there actually were a couple challenges this year, especially at large universities, because so much money is spent trying to furnish your dorm look. Trying to encourage people to do it via thrifting. There also are different ways you can swap your stuff from last year. And a lot of universities have partnered with Goodwill, we do it locally, to be able to donate stuff and rebuy it. So check with your college and university because a lot of them have those marketplaces.
When you are preparing for the thrift crawl, are there like special pieces that are going to be set aside? Oh, we really want to showcase this during the thrift crawl. We really want, you know, this brand to be in a special section over here. Is that taken into consideration?
So our stores definitely know they're on the thrift call because they all compete. So this year it's Grease, Webster, and Brockport. And there's always, we hear you, community. You know, this year it's why isn't it the East Side stores? Last year it was East Side. It was why wasn't it the West Side? So we do try to rotate and even even people in Syracuse want one there, so we're kind of looking at how we could do that. But they do really produce a lot of things, so there's going to be more items out. And the thriftfluencers are amazing. So they actually will curate some things and then be available to help you. So if you want to update your look, you can say, hey, can you help me shop for some things? And they will do that. They are amazing. You guys have seen me do that, on your morning show, just pick some things up. And sometimes you just need that extra person to help you out, and that's what you get on this experience.
I'm like sold, sign me up. And I'm sure a lot of people at home are too. So if they're looking for more information, they want to be a part of the crawl, where can they learn it?
So goodwillfingerlakes.org, right on our events page. It's 8 to 2 this Saturday, August 16th. And definitely go as soon as possible. We have about 20 tickets left.
Very good. And the stores won't be closed, right? If somebody doesn't get a ticket, they can still go to one of those
Exactly.
locations,
They can
yes?
still go to all of our locations. Sunday is National Thrift Shop Day. And so on Sunday, we have our Dollar Sunday. The reason we didn't do the crawl on Sunday is because the stores aren't open as long. And because of Dollar Sunday, we have a lot of traffic, a lot of people. But it's that exciting treasure hunt, thrill of the find, where the rotating out color is $1 for clothing and housewares. So we're definitely looking forward to it. And again, remember, everything you buy is going to fund community programs that Goodwill runs.
Excellent. Jen Lake, thank you so much for being here today. We appreciate it. All of the information on the thrift crawl will go over on foxrochester.com.
Yeah, stick around. We've got much more to come here on ARC Rochester.
We're back on the other side of the break. Much more to get to this morning on ARC Rochester as we continue into the 9 o'clock hour, including NASA Ambassador Tony Rice will join us for a look at when the night sky will be putting on a show for all the stargazers out there. That's coming up in Space News.
And later, we're catching up with travel expert Janine Tornator, live from Niagara Falls. She will share some of her top picks for late summer and early fall escapes.
We're back after this. Following breaking news this morning, Rochester police have announced an arrest in a missing persons case after the missing man was found dead.
Yeah, police say a missing persons report was filed on Sunday for 28-year-old Louis Leon. As they learned more, a person of interest was developed and investigators focused on the house in Livingston County. After executing a search warrant, they found the person of interest may have been in Cattaraugus County.
Monday night, they found 48-year-old Ruben Anthony Ortiz in Salamanca and took him into custody. That same night, investigators found the body of Louis Leon in a secluded portion of Route 17 in Cattaraugus County. They determined he suffered blunt force trauma and had been dead for several days. Ortiz is charged in his murder and was arraigned last night.
Meantime, a traffic alert this morning in Ontario County. Route 5 in Hopewell is closed in both directions. It's between Mumby and Fresh Hour Roads due to an early morning crash. We do have a crew in Hopewell that has confirmed one person has died in that crash. The sheriff says a car hit a tree. The man found dead was the only one in the car.
And these are stories we'll continue to follow, bringing you updates throughout the day, both on air and on 13wham.com. 9:02 on this Wednesday morning, August 13th. Thanks for staying with us. I'm Abi Fridmann.
And I'm Stephannie Joseph. Meteorologist Mark McLean back with us again for a look at today's rainy forecast, but also weather trivia.
A little bit of a change of pace out there compared to what we've had recently, right? Lots of dry weather. And that's kind of where we navigated today's trivia question. What's the driest spot? And now this is in recorded history. I'm sure if you went back through thousands and thousands of years and you could have been here to see it, there's probably longer streaks. But we've had a stretch of dry weather recently in Western New York. But do you know what the U.S. record is for consecutive days without rain? And, without Googling something like this, right? Is it 767 days without rain, 89 days, 212 days, or 365 days? Realizing that this is probably a straight guess, and you can see the respondents are all over the place. As a result, Barbara says C, Mary has B, Lorraine has A, Janet, Cheryl, both C, and Eva has B for the answer this morning. So it's kind of all over.
So I was thinking C as well, and here's why. For me, I'm like, there's no way it would be 700 days. That's wild. And there's no way it would also be 89. So for me, process of elimination, I would exclude those. And then 365 is just so, that's a full year.
Yeah.
And that's like, it seems a little too perfect.
Yeah.
So process of elimination leaves me with C.
C?
Yeah,
C?
me too.
You know what?
Are you kidding me?
It was
we were
A.
doing so well this week.
767 straight days in Baghdad, California.
Explain yourself, McLean.
This is the desert south. This is, as dry as it gets. This was a town that was there back when railroads were laid. This town is now gone, or any semblance of it was gone, but did used to have residents. Holds the U.S. record, experiencing 767 consecutive days without rain from October 3rd, 1912 through November 8th, 1914. How about that?
Can you imagine how miserable you'd be?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, if we were to put this into modern day, you'd have to water
damage.
every day. It'd do so much damage.
Ironically, this is where they used to refill the trains with water. This was a stop for the trains that were, going on the railroad back and forth. They must have been pulling it out of well, I don't know where. I didn't get that far into the story, but I thought that was pretty fascinating.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's hard to imagine.
Yeah.
You know what the ground looks like around here after 2 weeks without rain. Imagine 767 straight days.
Yeah.
Well, this guy needs a little water, right? Check out Gary.
What's up, Gary?
Gary's happy. Yeah, he's having a good time. Dog of the day, Muddy Paw Outlook. We love to see your pups. We have a nice little spot. You can send us your photos on 13wham.com/chime in. There's a QR code too. Makes it easy on your cell phone to just walk up to the screen. It works. Believe me, I've tried it. Scan the code, and we like your weather pictures. And we have the video Monday also that came in from the weekend of that dust devil. That was incredible. Video from Sunday. That was some wild stuff.
Mark went viral for that video, and
Just
he's pretty
saying.
proud of it.
Not gonna lie, it's up to almost 4 million views.
Are you
Oh
serious?
my gosh, Mark.
Wow.
That's insane.
That's a lot, right? Some wet paws out there this morning, and it looks like we're going to dry out after that. We may catch another shower on Sunday. We'll have to see if we raised that one up to the wet pause level. But right now we think we're in pretty good shape. But our lawns are dry. I mean, this morning's rain, right? Ours is. It hurts to walk on.
It's brown.
Yeah, it's gone.
It's gross. Jay hates it.
Yeah, the dog's not happy. Indy was not happy to go outside this morning in the rain either.
She's like, what is this? I haven't seen this in forever.
Less happy. Yeah, the snow is worse, but the rain, she's not a big fan. Almost a third of an inch at the airport. Spots west of Rochester, like Brockport, actually had 3/4 of an inch of rain since midnight, so it was a little bit of a soaker on the west side. Now, a lot of that rain is drifting off to the east. Still some thunder showers down towards the New York-Pennsylvania border, down towards Wellsville. Nothing severe there. And another cluster of storms heading up into the Adirondacks, all drifting away from Rochester at this point. Now, we'll leave a very small chance of another shower in the forecast through this afternoon, but I think we're going to have enough cloud cover around to keep the atmosphere stable enough that we'll avoid any significant redevelopment of rain showers. Overnight, partly cloudy. Hopefully, we'll get a look at the Perseid meteor shower again tonight. Last night, we had some clouds around that kind of made it a little bit tricky for navigating that, but nothing but sunshine tomorrow, Friday. You're going to love the end of the week forecast here. 72 and awfully humid. The dew point is sitting at a tropical 70 degrees, so it is sweat-tastic out there this morning. We'll get a break from the heat the next 3 days. Check it out. Back to the low to mid 80s, nice and seasonable. The average is actually down to 80 degrees, so it's a nice little break. Maybe we'll turn the air down a little bit. It looks like temps in the 80-degree range by 1 o'clock. If you're thinking about a little golf, may catch some late-day sunshine. Low 80s at 5 o'clock. And overnight tonight, we'll clear out the clouds, get back to 66 degrees. A little bit of a cooler start than what we have out there this morning. Our 7-day forecast has pretty much no chance of rain again until later in the weekend, and even that chance is pretty small. So, if we catch another shower today and later Sunday, that's really going to be about it in the weather forecast.
Okay. Well, get the watering can filled
Lots
up.
of irrigation. The water routine has been scheduled this whole year. I know exactly how much the plants need every single day now.
Oh.
What do you want? Like an award?
I'm just saying it's
a cookie?
Yeah. Mine is. I'll get there at some point. We're getting there.
Yeah.
I keep thinking about that story that you've told us about the year that didn't stop snowing or something. What was it? The year
without summer?
The year without summer.
Yeah.
I wonder if we're going to have a year without winter. Wouldn't it be crazy if we just had hot weather?
We had a winter in the late 1920s where Rochester had less than 30 inches of snow for the entire winter.
Jeez.
I mean, that's a normal for a January around here. So, yeah, it can happen. I mean, there can be winters like that. We had a, quote, real winter last winter.
Yeah.
50, 60 days in a row with snow cover on the ground was pretty good. I think that was top 25 for our recorded history, but
it was unpleasant.
To say the least.
Unpleasant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we keep looking at video and stuff from last year, and it just makes your stomach turn.
Yeah.
We've got some good weather for the Perseid meteor shower tonight, so we're going to be talking about that coming up next.
Will
Look
we
at that.
be able to see it? Will it be before bedtime?
You come in at the best time because the best time is later at night, so 3, 4 o'clock in the morning if you come in. But you have to be away from these parking lot lights and all the rest of this stuff around here. You have to really kind of be in an open area and look northeast.
Okay.
All right.
We'll talk more about it.
Literally in just moments. Much more to come this morning, including when we come back. More space news on the way.
Yeah, and don't forget that you can watch us on the go wherever you are. We're streaming live on the 13 Wham YouTube channel and foxrochester.com. Our Rochester is back after this. It's time for some space news. And if you got the chance to look at the sky late last night or even early this morning, you might have noticed some shooting stars.
Yeah, that is because the Perseid meteor shower is in its peak. And if you missed it, don't worry, there is still time to catch a few before the shower ends. For more, we're joined now by our good friend and NASA ambassador, Tony Rice. Tony, always fun to have you on the show. Hope all is well over there. Have you actually gotten the chance to watch the meteor shower with your own two eyes?
I think we were probably in the same boat down here in Raleigh, North Carolina, that you were up there in New York, and the clouds were kind of getting in the way. We've gotten a lot of rain down here over the last few days, and I'm hoping to see a little bit more tonight, though.
Yeah, it's a good show, and it's one that we can count on every year. So there's always a long period where we can watch this meteor shower, Tony. Yeah, about how long can you actually see this shower start to end in Western New York?
So this starts mid-July and goes through the end of August. But when we look at the amount of meteors that are available, picture it like a line graph. There's always a peak, and that peak was last night. Technically, as you mentioned before the break, the best time to look is the early hours of the morning. Here in Raleigh was pretty cloudy, so I avoided that. But my advice is going to be a little bit different this year. Every year, like you say, these meteor showers always arrive at the same time because, I mean, you can think about our path around the sun as being like a calendar. I mean, it really is. It takes a year for us to move around. So what's happening is we're moving through the stream of debris left behind by a comet. And that stream's in pretty much the same place every time. So we can, think about we're passing over that point in the calendar. But each year, things are a little bit different. While we're going through that stream at the same time, the moon doesn't sync up quite right with the calendar. So this year, we're going to have some moon challenges getting in our way. So I might twist your recommendations a little bit and recommend after sunset as the best time to look.
That's very interesting. Hey, and you mentioned the Earth going around the sun, colliding with this debris stream from the comet. About how fast, and I think this will shock people, how fast is the Earth running into this stream? Do you have any estimates on the miles per hour of some of this debris shooting through the atmosphere? I mean, because if you're out watching this with somebody, you look up and you say, "Did you see it? Did you see it?" And they look at you like you're crazy because they fly by so fast in the atmosphere. Then they see one and you miss it. I mean, how fast are these things going?
Yeah, they're pretty quick. I just looked it up, and the Perseids are actually on the slower side, believe it or not. They're moving about 37 miles a second. But still, that's pretty quick. The flashes of light that you see in the sky are not very persistent. How long you see the meteors in the sky is actually partially a function of how big the debris is. This tends to be very, very small debris. We're talking about the size of a grain of sand, and that burns up very quickly and doesn't last up in the sky very long.
And I've been told you don't need a telescope to look at it, but will having one sort of help with seeing maybe the shape or anything about the meteor shower?
No, that's the thing about meteor showers is they're very, very random and they're kind of hard to predict. You don't know where it's going to appear in the sky. Yes, they're named for Perseus. That's going to be the direction, the constellation Perseus. That's the direction they're coming from. But they can appear anywhere in the sky. So a telescope's really going to reduce your field of view. You're only going to be able to see a couple of degrees across. Pointing your telescope at a place and hoping to see a meteor move through it, you'd be better off playing the lottery. So I wouldn't recommend a telescope at all. And it's just really nice to get outside and enjoy the evening sky, looking at the broad sky, looking for these.
Mark touched on it just a couple minutes ago, but tell us about the best way to view the meteor shower. Obviously not a parking lot, West Henrietta Road in Rochester. What's the best location?
So there's really two factors that are really going to help you see the most meteors. One is the darkest sky. So if you can get to a more rural area, that's great, but not everybody can do that. So even just looking to the darkest part of the sky that you're under, if you're at home, turn off all those lights outside. If you've got a neighbor that's not going to cooperate, if you've got a street light that's not cooperating, just look away from that. Find that darkest part of the sky. You can see meteors anywhere in the sky. The other part is kind of related to the darkness as well, and that's patience. You've got to give yourself 10, 15 minutes minimum for your eyes to adjust to the darkness. You'll be amazed how much more you'll see. And you'll see more stars pop out as you're just sitting out there, looking up, looking for those meteors. You'll start to see more and more stars. Along those same lines, make sure you leave the phone inside. It's tempting to want to scroll. We're all addicted to our phones. But every time you look at your phone, that's pumping light into your eyes, and that's going to reset your night vision.
Okay, Tony, some of these can be different colors too, right? I mean, they're not all made of the same things as they're flying through the atmosphere. Can you speak to that, or maybe even some different showers throughout the time of the year that may look different to some of the observers?
Yeah, each one of these meteors showers is coming from a different parent comet, and rocks that we see here on Earth, they're made up of different things. So we can tell based on the colors that are burning up there, what elements those comets are made of. Comets and asteroids are really kind of two sides of the same coin, and there are a couple of meteor showers that are produced by asteroids. This particular one is produced by a comet. Comet 109P Swift-Tuttle was discovered many, many years ago. But based on what colors we're seeing the meteors producing, we can tell what element that was made up of. We're actually passing through the remnants of that comet's tail.
And after the Perseids here, what's kind of next on deck? It gets people interested. They see it and they're like, "Wow, that's so cool! When can I see something like this again?" What's next on the calendar?
So the next one is the Orionids that peaks on October 22nd into the 23rd. That one's even faster. We're looking at 41 miles a second for the debris moving through the atmosphere there. So those are going to be really, really brief. That one's about as fifth as strong as the Perseids are. So you're not going to see quite as many. There's a couple more after that. There's actually a couple hundred meteor showers that we go through a year. Most of them are very, very weak, very, very small. The Leonids peaking mid-November, those are worth taking a look at. That one's pretty weak, but the moon's only going to be 9% full. We're looking at 80-90% full tonight. That's why I recommend right after sunset until maybe about 10 o'clock is maybe the best time to see it, because that's before moonrise and you're not going to be dealing with the moonlight. But the one that we really will be circling on our calendar is mid-December. The 13th into the 14th is the Geminids. About 50% more meteors are part of that. So we often see a lot more meteors out of the Geminids. Perseids are my favorite, though, and I'm kind of disappointed that the moon's getting in the way this year. It'll be a lot different next year. Perseids are my favorite because this time of year, we don't have to bundle up.
Yeah.
We go outside and enjoy the evening, and mid-December, it is a little more challenging to sit out there for the amount of time that you really need to spend to see a lot of meteors.
Especially in these parts. Our forecast is looking better tonight. I didn't take a look down your way. How's things for you tonight?
A bit better. It's become like the evening showers and flash flood warnings and all of that. We're finally getting out of that cycle a little bit. So I'm hoping to get out and see a few.
Gosh. Well, yeah, Tony, we always appreciate you coming on to talk with us. It's always, like I said at the beginning, it's always really fun. If somebody at home is interested in learning more and they're like, I want to learn more about being a NASA ambassador, give us your pitch. Tell us, give us the rundown.
So I'm super fortunate that I get to do this. And this is a volunteer position that I absolutely love doing. Last night I was speaking to a amateur radio association, and I survived that. I was a little worried. I'm not an RF technician. I'm a different kind of engineer, but we were talking about NASA's Deep Space Network. Oh, wow. We're talking about the array of giant antennas, building-size antennas we use to communicate with spacecraft on out through the solar system and beyond. I mean, we still hear from the Voyager spacecraft that were launched 50 some years ago. So I get to do that a lot. But honestly, what I spend most of my time doing as a NASA ambassador is talking with broadcast meteorologists. And I love doing it because, and I enjoy sharing it with my meteorologist friends. you're the only scientist that a lot of people see on a daily basis. So I appreciate you bringing this space news and science to the general public.
Thanks, Tony. We can't wait to have you on again. Just throw topics at us. We'll take it. We'll take it. We love this.
Anytime you want to come on, it's always.
And that's a great thing. There's always something fun to look at in the sky.
Yep.
Absolutely. All right, Tony, thank you. Time right now is 9:22. When we come back, it is time to head into the kitchen.
We'll tell you more coming up after this.
We're heading into the kitchen now for this morning's Spatchcock Funk.
And today they're going to be showing us how to make a fan favorite appetizer. Take a look.
Stick 'em up, Spatchcock Funk here. We're gonna make sharp, dressed cheese sticks. And we're making them a different way. Ways you can make them at home, super easy, super luxe, super tight. And we're taking a cue from our friends from Albany, the capital of the Empire State. What they do is they make cheese sticks and they dip it in raspberry sauce. So we're gonna walk you through all the steps. But a couple of tricks, right? One of the things that we do is the outer coating for us is panko and cornflakes. The cornflakes have a sweetness to it that really combines with the cheese really well, so that's gonna be nice. But what we also do is we use a combination of really sharp cheddar and also mozzarella, so we have two different types of sticks you can dip. So let's get to ripping, sticking, and dipping, y'all. We've got your regular store-bought mozzarella string cheese. We're also gonna use some sharp cheddar, Beecher's cheddar. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take one, you're gonna roll it in flour. We've got seasoned flour. So there's a cup of flour, tablespoon of Cajun seasoning, salt, pepper, garlic powder, okay? Then you're gonna put it into an egg wash and then into that panko mixture I was bragging about earlier. I've got these beauties out. We're gonna set them outside, drain a little bit. You can already see the cheese starting to break on that hot one right there. Fantastic, beautiful cheese sticks. Never take some off the fryer, hit it with a little bit of salt. We're using flake salt. I'm gonna throw some parsley on it too, because we think that looks cool. So it really fries for like a minute to 3 minutes, depending on your oil. When you pull it out, right, it's gonna stretch and be gooey. And this is actually the cheddar that's melted like that. So it's gonna be hot, and then dip in your raspberry sauce. Sharp dressed cheese sticks, raspberry sauce, Spatchcock Funk. Let's go.
are following breaking news this morning. Rochester police have announced an arrest in a missing persons case after the man was found dead.
Yeah, police say a missing persons report was filed on Sunday for 28-year-old Louis Leon. As they learned more, a person of interest was developed and investigators focused on a house in Livingston County. After executing a search warrant, they found the person of interest may have been in Cattaraugus County.
Monday night, they located 48-year-old Ruben Anthony Ortiz in Salamanca, and they took him into custody. That same night, investigators found the body of Louis Leon in a secluded portion of Route 17 in Cattaraugus County. They determined he suffered blunt force trauma and had been dead for several days. Ortiz is charged with his murder and was arraigned last night.
Meantime, a traffic alert this morning in Ontario County. This is a live look you're seeing here at Route 5 in Hopewell. It's currently closed in both directions between Mumby and Fresh Hour roads due to an early morning crash. Our photojournalist has confirmed that one person has died in that crash. The sheriff says a car hit a tree. The male found dead was the only one in the car.
These are both stories we will continue to follow. Updates to come as we make our way through this Wednesday morning. Stick with us on air and on 13wham.com.
9:30. Thanks so much for staying with us here on ARC Rochester. If this hot weather has you dreaming of fall, well, you're not alone. And now is the perfect time to start planning those late summer vacations to get away.
Yeah, there are plenty of places to explore for the perfect fall escape. For more on some destination ideas, we are joined by travel expert Janine Tornator, who's live from Niagara Falls, not too far down the road from us. Janine, thanks so much for joining us.
Great to be here. Yeah, I feel like I'm practically in your backyard, and look at these views behind me. I'm here at the Sheridan Falls View Hotel, which, you know, sometimes they say location is everything where you stay. And this is one of those hotels where I really think that is true with these floor to ceiling windows. Both of the falls right here behind me. I watched the fireworks from my room last night and probably had a better view than if I was on the ground. But yeah, look, Niagara Falls, this is the time of year when a lot of these popular destinations like this start to see less crowds. So it's a great time to get out and visit with the family. This is such an easy one, even if you're looking for that 1 or 2 night escape before the kids head back to school. And even this hotel is a bit of a destination in itself. You're seeing some photos here, 600 guest rooms and suites. It has a rooftop pool, an award-winning Italian restaurant. Families get direct access to the Falls View indoor water park here, spa treatments, and of course, like I said, those great sunset and firework views. So this is such an easy one, and I love it because you start to see prices get better this time of year, and as I said, crowds get a little less busy as well.
And are you joining us from the New York or Canadian side for Niagara Falls?
I am on the Canadian side today.
Very good. Excellent. And you know, when you think about Niagara Falls, used to be like, what, the honeymoon capital? And they've got so much to do. It really can be a romantic place. Great for a little weekend getaway.
Absolutely. Romantic destination, family destination. It's really, there's something for everyone here. But I also love that actually once you get a little right outside of this immediate area, there's a lot of great, beautiful outdoor areas to explore as well beyond the falls and kind of the more touristy stuff right here in town. So if you want a little bit of an outdoor escape as well, this can be a beautiful area to visit.
And I'm sure a lot of people are heading, you know, some other places for the summertime. What are some other destinations that could be on their list?
Well, you know, for folks in the Northeast, I love hitting some of these cities as the crowds start to dwindle as well. So Washington, D.C. is one of my favorites that I love to recommend for August into September in particular, because the crowds are dwindling, but you still get a lot of great outdoor events, alfresco dining. I love it for families because there's so many free museums and attractions. You're seeing here one of my favorite hotels too, the Mayflower Hotel. It's the Autograph Collection property, but I like to stay in the historic hotels when I go to a place like D.C. This one is circa 1925. It's a great boutique property right in the heart of the city. And why I love hotels like the Mayflowers, because you're going to still see a lot of these hotel promotions going on. They have one where you get a 100-year anniversary keepsake beach towel and $25 food and beverage credit at their Edgar Bar and Kitchen. So definitely look for those promotions that usually we see over the summer. They're still taking place even into the fall.
It is, you know, travel is one of those things that is such a luxury if you can afford it. So looking at ways to save and do it on a budget, I'm sure is top of mind for a lot of people. What else is on your list? Is there anything for people that are really looking ahead to fall and thinking, I want to see some foliage. I want to, do the typical fall stuff.
Yeah, well, look, you guys are in the right part of the country for that. Really, you can step out your back door and you are in the heart of where everyone else around the country, I feel like, is coming, as to New York for those fall colors. I even love like a quick trip to New York City during the fall season. Again, it's quieter in the city. It's a great time to take advantage of getting good Broadway show tickets, good dining reservations, the more hotel availability. You're seeing here the Marriott Marquis, which of course is that iconic Times Square hotel. I love it because they have their park and play package going on right now. So if you're going to drive over, you get free valet parking, which we know is worth a lot of money in the city. And you get a 4 p.m. checkout. So you really get a bonus day on where you don't have to, take your stuff out of your hotel and check out till 4 p.m. But I also love New York, speaking of fall foliage, because the Hudson Valley right outside the city is one of my favorite places to go for an easy day trip, a drive after you visit the city, and take in some of those amazing colors this fall.
That is for sure. I think an itinerary is always something that people gravitate towards. It's not just, the scenery, but there's other things to do, especially around the areas that you mentioned.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I think fall's one of those seasons where the kids are back in school. People maybe don't have that full week anymore, but those quick, long weekend trips, those are the ones that you want to look for.
Oh, for sure. Janine, thanks so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it. For somebody interested in learning more about you and all of the advice that you have, hit us with the website.
Yeah, my website's theoutsideinsider.com, and you can also follow me on Instagram at theoutsideinsider as well.
Very good. Always good to see you, Janine. Thanks so much for your time.
Always a pleasure. Thanks.
Much more to get to this morning on Arc Rochester.
Yeah, including when we come back, we're taking a closer look at some of the severe weather patterns happening across the country.
Yeah, don't forget, take us on the go wherever you are. We're streaming live on the 13 WHAM YouTube channel and foxrochester.com. We're back after this. things weather-wise. We're going to take a closer look at some serious weather conditions causing major issues in the U.S., from flooding in Tennessee to closely watching Tropical Storm Erin.
Yeah, meteorologists Marty Snyder and McLean join us now for a look at some of these weather conditions. And there's a lot to get into here, especially when it comes to the flooding in Tennessee. A lot of people, we saw those images, the cars were just drenched.
Yeah, it's a lot of it's geography, right?
Yeah, and that's it. And one of the problems on some of those highways, I know I've seen in the past where some of them, you have that Jersey barrier down the center of the road and you get all the water that backs up on one side, can't exit there, and then that causes some of the flooding in some instances.
Yeah, there's some of the video right there, and you see that barrier.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that, no.
Well, the Weather Service has the slogan "Turn around, don't drown," right? And that's one of the best ones that they have, because you don't know how deep it is.
Yeah.
Your vehicle can turn into a boat pretty quickly, and you're going where the water's going. So the water's going to decide your route. Once you get stuck in the water, it's going to take your car wherever it's going.
Right.
What is it, 6 inches, right? Can
take you off your feet
Yeah.
if it's going more than 25 miles per hour.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
pretty crazy.
But you guys check out some of these numbers. You know, our weather system, we can pull in data from wherever. So, I mean, we take a look at some of these local storm reports, some of the rain amounts down there, and this is the Chattanooga area. The last color you ever want to see on any weather graphic is red. Okay, just an FYI and then when you start to get to Barney purple on these graphics, that's more than 5 inches of Doppler estimated rain in that area. And just for reference, the greatest amount of rain that we've ever had in a 24-hour period in Rochester is like 4.2 inches. I mean, so this would be beyond a historic rainfall for this area.
Was there a front that was sort of leading up to this event? How does that much rain fall?
Yeah, it's a lot of tropical moisture. Dew points are high. The East Coast has been stuck in this weather pattern for a long period of time, and it's just you get this training effect, and it's like a train going down tracks where the showers and thunderstorms keep hitting the same areas time and time again. And if that happens, especially in a condition like we have outside, we would get flash flooding very quickly because the ground is just so dry, it's not going to absorb it in. I'm not sure what their conditions were. I didn't look before, how dry it was beforehand. But 5 inches of rain is going to cause some major issues, no matter what.
Yeah. And then the other thing down there, kind of like the topography we were talking about the southern tier when we were talking about them earlier this week. You have a lot of rolling hills in that area, so you have that funneling effect where it's bringing that water down into those areas where often the interstates and expressways are. Yeah,
there's just nowhere for it to go. And there's some more video for you, and you see just look at the standing water right there. Yeah. And that is intense flooding. That's a lower third that really works for that. Just let it go. Let that drain off, or if the crews have to pump it out, or however it works out, you want to find an alternate route and try that out.
I'm sure, it's so easy to sit here and be like, what are they doing? Why are they driving through it? But in the moment, I imagine that there's a lot of panic thinking, do I get out of the car? Do I stay in the car? What do I even do here?
I hit one time on 390. This was working late. We had a thunderstorm that moved through very late. This is after 11 o'clock. And 390 north, there was a spot that sits low by the airport. And there's not a lot of traffic on the road at that hour, about around midnight or so. And, out of nowhere, going highway speed, and I hit probably 1.5 feet or 2 feet of water. It was enough that it was almost up to the headlights on the car. Yeah. And the first thing that happens, you feel the jerk on the wheel.
Right.
And there's no control. And the back end of the car starts to kick out on something like that. So you see that kind of thing on the roadway, and you've got other motorists around you. It's going to turn into bumper cars.
Yeah. In a situation like that too, you're on the interstate. It's not like, I'm going to back up and turn around.
Yeah.
Right.
You can't do that.
Yeah.
That's not going to work either.
Yeah.
So.
And the other interesting thing that we had this week was the dust devil. Right?
Yes.
Wow. Do we have the video? We do have the video. Okay. Check this out. This was Sunday afternoon. This was under 11 Little League baseball. Look at this video.
Yeah.
And you can actually see the path on the diamond, the dirt there, that this thing took.
That was pretty cool.
I don't know if they ever found the shortstop. Did they?
Poor kid.
Taking the bases right out of there.
And it's amazing how quickly it appears, and then it's gone like that.
Yeah. So this is a very interesting weather phenomena, and we have a illustration that shows this pretty nicely too. You see how fast it dissipated. How does something like that even form? And it's daytime sun that's hitting and heating the ground. You get an area of low pressure. You can see that counterclockwise turning as that dust devil is going the wrong way around the bases, and the air rushes in to fill that low, and eventually the process becomes less self-sustaining when cooler air gets tugged into that circulation and eventually mixes out. The interesting part about this, these happen all the time. Okay, it's just that we can't see them because of the ground that they're going over. So if it goes over a surface that is just like a lawn surface or doesn't have anything that funnel can lift up, you don't even know they're there.
Right. And that's it. I was wondering how often do these actually occur that you never know they happen. But I'm sure if you Google video of that, probably a lot of them you'll find will be ball diamonds.
Yeah.
Because you have that clay.
Yeah.
You have those very small particles. It's easy to be picked up. You have a lot of people there ready to video it. So I think a lot of them that you find online are that situation.
Yeah, and
that's one of the better videos
snow
I've
in the
seen.
wintertime too. Snow devils are a thing too. You look out in a farmer's field, you get that fluffy, powdery snow. You can see those all the time too. Really cool stuff.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yep.
I want to turn things over to Tropical Storm Aaron.
Yeah.
Seeing a lot of people talk about it's expected to develop into a Category 3 hurricane. Is that right?
Yeah, I saw the National Hurricane Center. Would they have it up to 115? I think it was.
Yeah, it could be in that borderline major range. Yeah.
Yeah, but we're still probably 6 days out, 7 days for any U.S. impact on that.
Right, got some time. And at this point, it looks like the bulk of the models are keeping it offshore sometime. Probably between Bermuda and the U.S., but a lot can change between now and then, so we'll be monitoring it.
And the interesting part there, too, is sometimes that can sustain some of our warm weather on the East Coast because it pumps up the Atlantic ridge that feeds the heat into the Northeast. So a lot of that energy comes in underneath that ridge and it goes up, and it keeps that clockwise circulation over the central Atlantic in place and our warmth in place.
It is really fascinating when you look at all of it. I know we have called this segment Weather-Wise, and you guys do end up answering like all of the questions that we have. If Tropical Storm Aaron does develop into something significant, it'll be the first major hurricane of the season, yes, to hit the U.S.?
Of the season, yeah.
I think so,
to be in the Atlantic Basin at least.
Yeah, major hurricane. Yeah, I think it's forecast to at least a Category 3 is the latest I saw. Yep. Yeah.
And I'm sure that if that happens, we're going to have you back on to talk about the different categories. But give us a little preview. Category 3 means?
Winds around 115, I think it is, for a major hurricane.
Low-end major.
Low-end major, yeah. Not that anything less than that wouldn't be notable. Right. I
wouldn't want it in my backyard.
Anytime you're talking about a hurricane, it could be a major disaster. But we'll follow it for sure.
Yeah, and the good thing about this one is, like I said, it may thread the needle between west of Bermuda, east of the U.S., east of the Canadian Maritimes, best case scenario. So that's a possibility. Yeah, and hopefully it does play out that way.
Yeah, it's like watching marbles on a table after you drop them out. These hurricanes, they do whatever they want. They impact and influence the environment around them and change the environment around them and kind of play by their own rules. So it's always tricky for those forecasters at the National Hurricane Center.
Yeah. All right. Really interesting. Guys, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Hey, stick around. When Arc Rochester returns, we're taking a look at some of the stories that have got people talking this Wednesday morning.
Yeah, we're back after this.
It's time to see what's trending now, starting with a new study that says couples thrive when they gossip together.
We do a lot of that. All right, so research found that couples are not only bonded more deeply when they gossip to one another, but they're also happier and more satisfied in their romance.
A team of scientists tracked 76 couples, both same gender and different gender, using a portable listening device.
The device recorded snippets of daily conversations from each couple for a few weeks, and the results found that participants gossiped for an average of 38 minutes per day, with nearly 29 of those minutes gossiping to their partner.
Across the board, couples who gossiped more frequently reported higher levels of personal happiness.
Although researchers didn't distinguish if the gossip was positive, negative, or neutral, they did conclude that talking about people behind their backs can be beneficial for relationships. How do you feel?
I couldn't imagine how any of this data could be accurate, because if you know that there's a personal listening device on you, I feel like the natural reaction would be to censor yourself a little bit.
Maybe
they censored themselves but still gossiped. So like
Could be.
using code names.
Yeah.
Had a lot of interesting ones growing up for different people. Like if my friend had a crush, there was one guy. They had a crush, so many girls on this one guy, and he had different names that I came up with. So fromage was one of them, and the other one, was it goat cheese?
What?
No, it was goat cheese. That was one. His name started with a G, without giving too much away. He was very like, I have to tell you.
His code name was Goat Cheese?
Yeah.
Did we not like him?
Well,
that's a horrible nickname, Steph.
Yeah. Well, I called another guy like poisson. But that's fish in French, which he found out about that one, and he didn't like it very much. He was fine, though. His name started with a C. So it was a word I liked in French. So that is how I came up with his. But the other one was like goat cheese and then triangle, because he had like a nice jawline.
My goodness.
I would say, yeah.
See, my husband and I, we don't even have code names. We just straight up, like, I'm talking out in public. Can you believe this person? We definitely have like the same sense of humor too. So a lot of the time we don't even have to say much. We just have to kind of like look at one another, and then we'll debrief later. And you know, it definitely, it's funny. Listen, if you're acting a fool, you're asking for it. I don't know. If you're being silly, then we're going to talk about you.
I mean, come on.
Fair game.
Yeah.
I can't get over the goat cheese thing. Do you have a code name for me?
No,
I don't want to know.
No, I don't have code names for anyone here. No.
I don't really know if
Well, he was usually around, so he'd have to.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's fair.
All right.
What are you saying over there? Say it with your chest, Mark.
Yeah.
Don't gossip.
I was gonna say, somebody on this show has a nickname.
We'll move on now.
Is it me? Doom and Gloom McLean? Is that what you're talking about?
Oh, he has a few, I think. Doom and Gloom is one.
Yeah.
I think we do some alliteration with his name too, like Manic McLean or like.
Have we called him that before?
No, but I'm saying like, you know, the alliteration exists.
I think mine is just boring. Let's move on now to a heated debate. It's sparking some different opinions online.
So a TikTok of one traveler is going viral for the way she checks out of a hotel room.
In the video, the woman films herself strutting out of the hotel without so much as a nod to the front desk.
Now the caption on the video reads, "Older generations take note. This is how you check out of a hotel. You just walk out."
Okay, she goes on to say you don't need to tell anyone that you're leaving or return the key. You can just leave.
Now, people began to give her hate in the comments, saying that was a total Gen Z thing of her to do.
I'm sorry, everybody's way too invested in the whole generations thing. Like, let's relax. The majority of the comments say her leaving was unkind, disrespectful, and unempathetic.
Those who did agree with her way of checking out pointed out that the majority of those commenting negative or opposing views were older.
We're too focused on this whole like generational gap thing. The older people are too worried about it. The younger people are too worried about it. The people in the middle also, like, let's just get over it. When it comes to that, I've gone and I've checked out of hotel rooms before, and the concierge has been like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't need to be doing this.
I always go up and say, is there anything I need to? And they'll be like, no, you're all set. You know, like, I never thought of just, bye.
But I always thought you had to return the key. I thought you got charged if you didn't. But
maybe there's a drop box or something.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
When we come back, Arc Rochester is doing our final thoughts.
Yeah,
That's what we're
can you
doing.
believe it? It's time already.
It's time.
We're back after this.
Final thoughts of the morning on Arc Rochester. You have a little
yeah.
show and tell.
Show and tell, yeah.
So we forgot, honestly, about this during the space segment. Our audio engineer, Dave Cook, found a meteorite. It's got to be iron.
I'd say,
I mean,
it's
it's
dense.
heavy. This thing
It's heavy.
It's heavy.
That's weight.
It's at least 10 pounds. But on the family farm out in Medina, this was found in the ground. I believe he said it was still, when they found it, it was still smoldering. This is years ago, so this didn't happen like last week or something. But we were talking, we knew with that segment with the Perseids was coming up, but it's pretty cool.
It's really
see
Pretty
something
cool.
like that.
See how it's kind of shiny
Yeah.
on the outside a little
Yeah.
bit from being, the friction with the atmosphere kind of puts that little crust on the
Couldn't
outside.
imagine something like that making it through the atmosphere.
Seriously.
Wow.
Yeah, it's incredible.
That's wild.
All right, that does it for us this morning on Arc Rochester. Join us again tomorrow morning starting at 4:57 on 13 WHAM ABC.
We've also got much more live local news coming up later. 13 WHAM News at midday. See you later.